Hello, everyone. Today is the second talk about Kubernetes on edge computing. I will spend a little time talking about why Kubernetes on edge. Let me share the screen. So we all know that all the applications in enterprises are managed on pretty complex infrastructure. And traditionally, they move from the bare metal deployment model to the virtualized deployment model, and finally move into the containerized deployment model. And to manage many large-scale application clusters, or called workloads, people have to figure out some great ways to do that. And after years of computation and development, Kubernetes turns out to be the best choice, all the de facto standards across the world. That's good, and I think all the guys know that pretty well. And the Kubernetes is basically a kind of distributed framework to manage applications, a kind of master or kind of control plane and work nodes architecture, which is not a big surprise to many developers. And because of the robust capabilities and rich feature sets, and pretty good credits abound from the community, it was adopted very widely across different cases, industries, and especially in cloud computing. And that's the case. Where on the other hand, for edge computing, it's a little bit different. Actually, edge is a pretty fuzzy word, which I do not want to explain in much details in this talk. I'll leave that to the following talks. But today, you can find that edge computing is kind of in a middle position between the cloud or the cyber world and the physical world. Here is a very logical, not a full coverage architecture chart, but you may get some sense about why it's called edge, because the edge of physical and cyber world. And that's the very far-east position where IT technology or ICT technologies could reach out in the end. Traditionally, we leverage different technologies to manage all these special rack devices in the fields, in factories, different locations. We call it the OT, operation technology. But with recent great success of cloud and Kubernetes in the cloud, people on the edge are really seriously thinking about how to leverage cloud-native technologies, especially or mostly Kubernetes on the edge. That's not easy to do, but people have pretty strong motivation to do that. We'll see how that could be achieved in different approach, because edge is a pretty fragmented situation right now. But before we close this talk, I want to highlight or summary the major motivation about why this happened. Let's maybe bypass all the detailed technology discussion about Kubernetes feature set, characteristics, KPI, metrics, in fact. I mean, in depth of people's motivation, there are three key points are very important to make that happen. First, money. I mean, cost and return of investment. People really see pretty strong community in Kubernetes, and they expect to save a lot of cost, operation expense in operation in the daily jobs for the application management at the edge. And on the other hand, people expect to create new value propositions with that technology in place. And let's see how that could turn out to be reality later. The second, the credit. It's a little vague, but actually that's very important because cloud and Kubernetes are very successful already. And that's kind of fashion, from technology perspective, it's a kind of fashion to leverage Kubernetes and use that, expand that in different ways. On edge, people would like to see whether they can get on this ship on Kubernetes and expand that in their own area and also get some more credits. And that's fair, and that's reasonable. I see, and we cannot blame anyone for that, but actually that's a very important reason for guys to do these things. And third is also very important, safety. Before Kubernetes, our so-called edge native application technologies come out, on the edge, people use different tools, homebrew, third-party, open source. And there are different verticals or silos in the area of edge. It's generally quite challenging to decide or judge which one is the best or better than the other alternatives. But with Kubernetes, things are kind of easier for the decision makers about the situation. They may choose Kubernetes, and that's easy because that's widespread and people love to use that. It seems so they could get a lot of return from the investment, and people are kind of comfortable to do that decision. That's also very important. And all these three together, money, credit, safety, push together the Kubernetes widespreading on edge computing in the following years. Okay, let's see how that could turn out to be related in the next talks. Thank you for your attention. Bye.